Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, sports, and so much more. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, the University of Namibia, UNAM, has enrolled 3,057 students in its readiness program for those who did not meet the initial admission requirements. These students will not be required to pay to attend the program. UNAM's Public Relations Manager, Simon Namesho, explained that the courses are aligned with the competencies required for UNAM degrees and diplomas, ensuring that students are well prepared for the challenges of higher education. The program offers a pathway for grade 12 graduates who did not qualify for direct entry into UNAM programs by preparing them for university education through a curriculum tailored to address specific areas where they need the most support, he explained. Namesho said that following the application period, applications were screened and admissions were processed. The general orientation and model orientation are slated for June 5th, with classes scheduled to begin on June 6th. The university is now focused on providing quality education and support to the enrolled students, and future intakes will be reviewed annually to assess the capacity and potential for accommodating more students. Inclusivity. This program was introduced to cater to prospective students looking to pursue degrees and diplomas in the fields of agriculture, mathematics and science, education and human sciences, and commerce and management sciences. Additionally, it was open to learners who had attempted the advanced subsidiary AS level and legacy learners NSSCH, HICSI, or equivalent. Each stream of the readiness program features a unique and tailored curriculum precisely designed to prepare students for their desired programs and qualifications. For instance, students aiming for a bachelor's degree in accounting will follow a customized curriculum with modules specifically designed to prepare them for their future studies in accounting. Getting into our next story, All People's Party, APP, acting president Nangolo Shumbwa has disregarded a suspension letter he was served with 2 weeks ago, arguing that it was a decision taken by an alleged group of opportunities in the party who have been planning to oust him for years. The APP's Central Coordinating Committee, CCC, at its 18th May meeting decided to suspend Shumbwa following allegations that he is linked to a new political formation that is currently seeking to be registered with the Electoral Commission of Namibia. For months, Shumbwa, a well-established businessman in the northern parts of the country, has been linked to being the founders of the Action for Democracy movement, ADM, a new political formation that has applied to ECN for recognition. ADM is currently led by Vincent Kanyetu, who is the former Secretary General of APP and has worked closely with Shumbwa. As to how the suspension of Shumbwa came about, Namibian Sun is reliably informed that during APP's 18th May CCC meeting, with which Shumbwa did not attend, an allegation was made that he excused himself from the meeting that took place in Rundu and instead remained in the north, where he intended to attend an ADM meeting. Shumbwa had told us that he cannot make it to the meeting because he had an engagement at the Ondongo Traditional Authority, but one of the members in the meeting told us that it is not true, but that Shumbwa went to go and have a meeting with his new political party. APP Acting Secretary General Marius Horasep explained. The CCC then deliberated on the matter and overwhelmingly voted for the suspension of Shumbwa, hence the 23rd of May suspension letter to him. When contacted for comment yesterday, Shumbwa was adamant that he is not suspended and remains the interim leader of APP. He further explained that his suspension has nothing to do with the rumors of him being linked to ADM, but part of an existing plan to oust him. The CCC have been planning to get rid of me for a long time now. They make decisions without consulting me. They don't pick up my calls when I call them. They just saw an opportunity that I'm not part of the meeting, and after making up that allegation, they then made their illegal decision. Now, according to them, I am suspended, but that's not what I know. I am still the leader of the APP. I am the chairperson of the National Bureau and the CCC. Both those meetings were convened without my blessings, hence any decision taken there was illegal, null and void, Shumbwa said. In our next story, Albert Kawana has allied concerns that the newly introduced visa regime would scare off visitors to Namibia, saying they have in place a visa on arrival option and online visa application process to ensure smooth traveling experience for visitors. Namibia has recently introduced a new visa regime for countries that do not have reciprocating visa arrangements in place for Namibia, saying this is to protect Namibians that are treated inhumanely in Europe. Kawana stressed that the regime is in line with international law that stipulates every state has a right to admit or not admit in its own territory foreign nationals. He added that when Namibians travel to other countries where we have reciprocity, they go without visas. However, there are about 31 countries whose nationals can come to Namibia without any visa, but Namibians require visas to go to those countries. In some instances, the visa fees are very high. I can even say it is prohibitive. If you apply for a visa today to go to the United Kingdom, you will not pay less than $18,000 or $20,000 Namibian dollars to go there, whereas the British citizens come here without any visa requirement and paying any fees. That is not in accordance with international law, which applies the principle of reciprocity. This means the way you treat me is the way I will treat you. The reality is that our citizens, when they travel, they are treated very inhumanely, even those that carry diplomatic passports, he said. Visa reciprocity is a fundamental principle of the European Union, EU's common visa policy, and an objective which the Union pursues in a proactive manner in its relations with non-EU countries. According to its website, this principle means that the EU, when deciding on lifting the visa requirement for citizens of a non-EU country, takes into consideration whether that non-EU country reciprocally grants a visa waiver to nationals of all EU member states, except the UK and Ireland, who do not participate in the common visa policy. In 2016, former Inspector General of the Namibian Police and Interpol's Vice President for Africa, Lieutenant General Sebastian Deitunga, was interrogated by German immigration officials, along with 6 other Namibians at Frankfurt Airport, while the rest of the white passengers disembarking were allowed to go through without questioning. A few years before that, the late Youth Minister Kadenambo was also intercepted and detained for a few hours by German customs police officials who accused him of carrying a fake passport while he had a diplomatic passport. Trustco Group Holdings Limited's diamond subsidiary, Meyer Mining, has announced the discovery of a diamond-rich deposit in the eastern province of Sierra Leone, following promising findings from a diamond resource estimate for the Meyer River kimberlite dike. The report confirmed the total kimberlite ore down to a depth of 800 meters below surface is 6.05 million tons. The assessed in situ grade is 33 carats per 100 tons, translating to a total of 1.99 million carats contained within Meyer River, and an estimated value of $763 million, of which $104 million is in the indicated category and $659 million is inferred, based on an average value of $382 per carat. Trustco Deputy CEO Quinton van Rooyen Jr. said the findings validated the company's investment in Meyer Mining. These resource estimates underscores the potential of the mine, and we are excited about the next steps in advancing this diamond resource. According to him, the assessment covers a 2.8 kilometer strike length of the Meyer River dike, which represent less than 5% of the total combined strike length of the kimberlite domains within Meyer Mining's licensed area. 5 of the largest diamonds discovered globally have come from this area. Notably, in November 2017, the Meyer Prosperity Diamond, the 29th largest diamond at the time, was unearthed at this site and subsequently sold for $16.5 million. Updates on ongoing drilling and exploration within the licensed area will be provided as additional resources are proven. The mine is expected to scale up commercial production within the current financial year. The resource evaluation findings will form a pivotal part of an upcoming preliminary economic assessment report, providing a comprehensive economic analysis of the Meyer River's dike's development potential. As of the 31st of August 2023, Trustco's total investment in Meyer Mining amounted to $116 million, representing 34.1% of its total investment portfolio at the time. Trustco holds a 19.5% stake in Meyer Mining. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our story of the day.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Getting into our story of the day, Head of Corporate Communications and Public Relations at Telecom Namibia, Nombolo Kondobolo Kambinda, told Network Media Hub NMH in an exclusive interview that Telecom Namibia has recently embarked on an initiative to donate desks and chairs to different schools in the country. Kondobolo Kambinda further added that the company's support to education is not one item. However, they look at the necessities of the school. Let's take a look.
Our support to education extends beyond yesterday's donation. We also give sanitary towels to high school girls at in various regions. That is important to us because no girl should stay out of school just because her parents or she cannot afford a basic item such as sanitary towels. Another initiative that we've also embarked on in the education space is the provisioning of desks and chairs where that basic need is required and cannot be afforded by the school itself. A few months ago, we've also donated 10 computers to a school in the Aranos area. So our support towards education is not one single item. We look at where the need is most critical and we try and address that need.
On the other side of the break, we tackle our economic news. Do stay with Sunset News.
Introducing 061 Express, brought to you by Synergy in proud partnership with Windhoek Express. Here's your chance to make your voice heard to celebrate the businesses that make Windhoek exceptional. From your favorite coffee spot to the salon that always gets your style just right. It's time to shine a spotlight on the gems of our city. Over the next 8 weeks, it's your chance to vote for your favorites to recognize the best of the best. Nominations open on the 21st of April and close on the 5th of May. To nominate your favorite business, simply save this number, 085-785-6231, and WhatsApp #061Express or scan the QR code below and follow the on-screen instructions. By nominating your favorites, you're not only supporting local businesses, but you also stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Namibian dollars in cash. The voting process will be the same as the nominations process, using the Synergy chatbot and the #061Express. Voting opens on June 5th and closes on June 23rd. Make sure to cast your votes for the best of the best. The winners will be announced on June 28th. 061Express, celebrating the heartbeat of Windhoek. Get ready to make your mark.
Getting into our economic news, RMB has been appointed by QKR Navahub as the initial mandated lead arranger, underwriter, and coordinator of a syndicated loan from Namibian and South African banks. The loan, providing bespoke term funding worth $155 million or about 2.9 billion Namibian dollars, is earmarked for the mine's recently announced expansion program. The funding will prove crucial for the critical ramp-up of the mining and processing activities. This expansion will significantly scale up the mine's gold output, making a substantial contribution to Namibia's economic sustainability. In addition to the funding, RMB and the banking syndicate will provide risk management solutions to optimize the mine's exposure to commodity prices, currency, and major operating expenses. Jason Shikalepo, head of investment banking at RMB Namibia, said the deal underscored RMB's ability to deliver tailor-made solutions to its stakeholders in Namibia. This deal stands out as one of the largest resource transactions structured and executed by a Namibian financial institution. It underscores RMB's ability to deliver complex market-leading solutions, bringing together stakeholders from across the financial ecosystem. By participating in such opportunities, RMB demonstrates its commitment to develop Namibia's capital markets and fostering shared prosperity for our clients and the communities in which they operate. According to him, the transaction reinforces RMB's long-standing relationship with QKR Navahab. The comprehensive solution exemplifies the corporate investment bank's unique ability to address clients' needs by leveraging expertise across several business units. QKR Navahab in 2021 embarked on the Project Kahima initiative to transition towards underground mining, in addition to its open pit operation in line with its mine expansion strategy. Project Kahima enabled the mine to turn around the unsustainable cost base which faced us in 2018 to a sustainable cash flow position, which has made the company self-funding and has enabled investment into expansion projects which are critical to the sustainability of the mine. QKR Namibia Managing Director George Bochiwe said at the time, Navahab is primarily owned by QKR Namibia Mineral Holdings and JG Investments with a 92.5% stake, while state-owned Epangelo Gold possesses the remaining 7.5%. That concludes our economic news. Let's get into our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.12, against the euro at 20.57, against the US dollar at 18.94. 2 Namibian dollars and 61 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, platinum went down while gold, copper and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.27%, going for $77 and 62 cents per barrel. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our international news, starting off in South Africa. Getting into our international news, South Africa's African National Congress, ANC, has suggested forming a government of national unity after losing its parliamentary majority in last week's elections. It says it has reached out to all parties, but negotiations are still underway. The results indicate that the South Africans want all parties to work together. ANC spokesperson Mahlangu Bengu-Motsiri told journalists the ANC got about 40% of the vote, with the Centre-Right Democratic Alliance, DA, on 22%, the MK party of former President Jacob Zuma on 15%, and the Radical Economic Freedom Fighters on 9%. Under South Africa's proportional representation system, any government would need to be formed of parties which together got more than 50% of the vote. Ms. Bengu-Motsiri said the ANC has had discussions with the DA, the EFF, and other smaller parties. She revealed that despite reaching out to the MK, there has been no positive response. Since the results were announced, there has been feverish speculation in South Africa about what sort of coalition could be formed. Forming a government of national unity would allow the ANC to sidestep the dilemma of who to work with. A coalition with the DA would have angered many party activists who see it as representing the interests of the white minority, a charge the party denies. Working with two radical parties that broke away from it, MK or the EFF would have alarmed the business community, as they both favor seizing white-owned land without compensation and nationalizing the mining sector. In our next story, 22 Chinese nationals have pleaded guilty to committing cyber-related crimes in Zambia. They are among 77 suspects who were arrested in April in connection to what authorities described as a sophisticated internet fraud syndicate. The swoop on a Chinese-run company in the capital, Lusaka, followed an alarming rise in internet fraud cases in the country, targeting people in countries around the world. The Chinese nationals are said to be sentenced on Friday, local media reports. There have been increasing cases of Zambians losing money from their mobile and bank accounts through money laundering schemes, which extend to other foreign countries, the Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC) said in April. People in countries including Singapore, Peru, the United Arab Emirates, and others across Africa have also been targeted in the online scam, Zambian authorities said. Now, dozens of young Zambians were also arrested after allegedly being recruited to be call center agents in the fraudulent activities, including internet fraud and online scams, the DEC said during the arrest. After a trial lasting several weeks, the 22 Chinese nationals, including one female, pleaded guilty to 3 charges: computer-related misrepresentation, identity-related crimes, and illegally operating a network or service. The 22, along with a Cameroonian national, were charged with manipulating people's identities online with intent to scam them. The accused hold different positions in the Chinese-run Golden Top Support Service, the company at the center of the raid. The company, located in Roma, an upmarket suburb of Lusaka, is yet to comment on the allegations. Li Jianlin, believed to be the director of the company, was charged with operating the network without a license from the Zambian authorities. On Tuesday, the state prosecutor requested the court to include more details about the charges. The Zambian nationals were charged in April and released on bail so they could help the authorities with their investigations. Authorities said the Zambians involved had been tasked with engaging in deceptive conversations with unsuspecting mobile users across various platforms such as WhatsApp, Telegram, chat rooms, and others, using scripted dialogues. Among equipment seized were devices allowing callers to disguise their location and thousands of SIM cards. During the raid, 11 SIM boxes were discovered. These are devices that can route calls across genuine phone networks. More than 13,000 SIM cards, both local and foreign, were also confiscated, demonstrating the extent of the operation's reach, according to the DEC. That concludes our international news. We now take a look at our weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect sunny weather conditions with a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can expect a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 2 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. On the other side of this short break, Ari Hohat will be bringing us the sports news.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with cricket news first. The T20 World Cup is taking place for men in the West Indies and United States of America. The latest game, it was England and Scotland that couldn't complete their game. It was abandoned because of rain, and that resulted in each team getting 1 league point. At the moment, Namibia actually leading that group, and it's a strong group with Australia and England, but Australia still need to play their first game, and Namibia obviously also still need to play against Australia and England, and it is Namibia that play their next game on Thursday. That will be against Scotland. Another result was in Group D, and that was a game that was completed. It was the Netherlands that beat Nepal by 6 wickets, and it was Nepal that scored 106 all out, and then the Netherlands scoring 109 for the loss of 4 for the win. And it was Max O'Down that scored 54 unbeaten runs for the Netherlands, and Tom Pringle, he took 3 wickets for 20 runs in that game. Moving on to tennis news, it is week 2 of the French Open, that is at Roland Garros. It's getting closer to semi-finals both for the men and women. A big news from the tournament is that Novak Djokovic is out of the tournament because of a knee injury. He's also the number 1 seed. He couldn't play his quarter-final game, so he's out of the tournament after injuring his knee in the 4th round. News from the games that did take place. It's a number 2 seed Jannik Sinner safely through to the semi-finals, beating Grigor Dimitrov by 6-2, 6-4 and 7-6. And also a good win for number 2 seed, that's number 3 seed Carlos Alcaraz of Spain. He beat Stefanos Tsitsipas. It was a highly anticipated game. Carlos Alcaraz winning 6-3, 7-6 and 6-4. On to the women's side of the draw, and it's Iga Swiatek, the number 1 seed, continuing her brilliant form. She's beating all the opponents very easily, and she's beaten Marketa Vondrousova by 6-love and 6-2. That is also to advance to the semi-finals. And in the semi-finals, she will play against American Coco Gauff, who got the better of Tunisia's Ons Jabeur. The score there was 4-6, 6-2, and 6-3. And to close off today's international sports news, it is Formula One racing news, and news from Red Bull is that Sergio Perez has been confirmed to race for Red Bull for another 2 years. He extended his contract up till the end of 2026. Also, it is Mercedes-Benz that is yet to confirm who will replace Lewis Hamilton, and that is Lewis Hamilton that will race for Ferrari in 2025 onwards. The next Grand Prix will be this coming Sunday, and it will be the Canadian Grand Prix at the Gilles Villeneuve racetrack. And the points at the moment in the Formula One is that Max Verstappen leading in his Red Bull by 169 points, followed by Charles Leclerc on 138 in his Ferrari. And in third position, it is McLaren that's doing well. It is Lando Norris in third in his McLaren. He's got 113 points and challenging the top racing drivers at the moment as well. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in on this chilly Wednesday evening. Do remember that Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura. Until next time.